Hi guys, and welcome back to Momma Jess Knits. I'm Jess, coming to you from Virginia. Today is July the 27th, and this is episode 26. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Momma Jess Knits. I do have a Ravelry group under Momma Jess Knits Podcast. I have a Facebook group under Momma Jess Knits, and you can email me at mommajessknits@gmail.com. And I also have an Etsy store under Momma Jess Knits, all one word. I'm going to jump right in and do something I usually don't do. I am wearing something that I knit. I usually don't show off anything that I'm wearing because I don't have a lot of knits for myself. Actually, I added it up the other day, and I think I have a grand total of 4 things that I've made myself. Made myself and wear. They end up usually getting stolen by children, or I gift them, or I sell them. But this is my night shift shawl by Andrea Mowry. And the reason why I'm showing this today, because I've shown this on the podcast before, but the reason why I'm showing it today is because I have this beautiful new shawl cuff that I wanted to show off. Two of my children's band teacher, has started a business, and he has an Etsy shop, and, I asked him to make me a shawl cuff, which, try to come a little closer with it. It's very pretty. Anyway, this is his name, and like I said, he's on Etsy, even though it doesn't have, an Etsy thing on there, but that is definitely his name. Came in this cute little bag. So that's Third Branch. I love it, and he's got a couple of other shawl cuffs in there. I think he's got one just like this, and then I think 2 or 3 others. I can't remember for sure, but I wanted to mention that because, like I said, I'm just loving this shawl cuff. It's perfect in every way. All right, I'm going to jump into my finished objects, which I have 2 for you because it's been 2 weeks since I did my last podcast. I don't think I didn't show these on my last podcast, but I did talk about them. This is something I've been working on for quite a while. They're not sitting on the blockers very well because the blockers are a tiny bit too big, but I finished my daughter Avery's Halloween socks. And these are in, these are in Knit Pick Stroll. I believe this is just called Pumpkin. I could be wrong. And then this is just regular black. But yeah, I've had those on needles for quite a while, and in true fashion of trying to work my way through all my works in progress that I've just put in bags and forgotten about, I wanted to knock those out. So she'll be super excited that I showed those on today's podcast because she wants them. When who wouldn't? She's been waiting since before Halloween last year. My second socks, they are socks, but my second finished object are my Hippo for Little Celebrations, Hippo for Bubble Bath socks. And this yarn, both of them, are by Lolo Did It. This is the Hippo for Celebrations and the Hippo for Bubble Bath. And then the yellow is a color called Just Ducky. And, I mean, you have to have a duck if you're going to do a bubble bath, right? So that is my second finished object. Now I can put those in my box of socks because that's officially my, we're in July, my July pair of my Hippo socks for that box. If you're new here, I am doing 2 boxes of socks. I'm doing one that is strictly Lolo Did It's Hippo 4 line. She does different hippos for each month, and holidays and things like that. I'm actually in her Hippos for Little Celebration yarn club, so I get a monthly package from that. And then she also does stuff like Hippo for 4th of July and Christmas and Hanukkah and stuff like that. Anyway, all right, works in progress. I'm gonna somewhat quickly go through this because I have a lot of stuff to show you guys today. So we will start with my Ginger Snap That bag. And in here I have my Hippo for Halloween. Now you're saying, you've already shown us those. No, I haven't. This is a different pair. I did do another pair that I had orange heels and toes. Then I decided that I wanted to go ahead and use up the rest of the skein of yarn. So I'm doing black cuffs, heels, and toes. And that is Hippo for Halloween. Turn it around. And the black is Knit Pick Stroll, which is why I'm not putting it in my Hippo 4 box. Because I use only Lolo Did It for that box. Lolo Did It yarns for that box. And since that's got 2 different yarns, I decided to put that in my regular box of socks, which I will not have done. I won't have July's pair done this month. There's just no way. Excuse me. I've been having some wrist problems. My wrists are hurting. I'm thinking just from knitting too much. Because I tried to make it a goal to add a square a day to my memory blankets. And then I'm also trying to do 2 pairs of socks plus a shawl, and it is too much. I need to slow down and back up a little bit, so I don't hurt myself further. But in this bag, which I won from, is it Snickle and Mr. B? Yeah, Snickle and Mr. B. I have my covered shawl, and that shawl is a shawl pattern by Alicia Plummer. And I am doing this shawl in Barocco Vintage. I forget what color this is. I call it Spicy Mustard. So there's Barocco Vintage. And let's see here. I've worked on this a little bit. Here is my marker where I was the last time I showed it on the podcast. I'm trying to think. I think I've gotten, I don't know if I've gotten a full 8 rows done or not, but I got at least 4, maybe 5. So yeah, that's coming along not as quickly as I'd like. I need to get back to working on this and trying to do like at least 30 minutes a day on it or something. I know a couple of different knitters that are setting aside like 30 minutes a day for a project, whether it be like a shawl or whatever. So I think I'm going to start doing that. But so that is, sorry, I'm running out of places to put stuff once I'm done talking about it. That's probably going to fall, but it's okay. Okay. On my last podcast, I mentioned that I was thinking about, sorry, that's going to crinkle for a second. I was thinking about starting another memory blanket, and some of y'all are like probably thinking why you have 2 that you're not finished with. Yes, I know. But I do have some minis And I decided that it would be fun to kind of make a blanket out of just minis. And for those of you who don't know what minis are, so a regular like fingering weight yarn has 100 grams in it. And a mini usually has anywhere from 10 to 20. There are a few out there that are a little bit bigger than 20. So most of mine are 20. And I decided that I wanted to do a memory blanket made out of just minis. So I'm going to use only minis. It can be minis that, I've bought for a sock set and done heels, toes, and cuffs or whatever out of it. And I have some left over. And actually that's what I've done with what I'm getting ready to show you anyway, is both a mini left over from me doing socks with heels and toes. So I decided to go ahead and start another blanket. You'll recognize this because this is the Just Ducky from my socks that I showed right here. And this is another mini from actually a couple of other pairs of socks, because I've done several with the Wonka is the color of this heels and toes. But there's that. I just started this yesterday, so I only managed to do 2 blocks, which isn't too bad because my wrist was really throbbing yesterday. But yeah, so memory blanket number 3. And for those of you who are going to ask, I am doing the memory blanket by Georgie Nicholson, except for I am just using fingering instead of DK weight, which is what she does her blanket out of. My squares, I'm using a Chalgu needle, size 2, and I'm just casting on 40 stitches and going from there. So the only thing I changed is the weight that I'm using and the needle size. So yeah, so there's the start of blanket 3. This is my small memory blanket that I'm getting ready to show, and I've added a lot since I podcast last. I made it a goal to try to do, like I said, try to do a square a day on each of my blankets. And I timed myself one day, and it takes me about 55 minutes, so almost an hour to do a square. And of course, I think that was with interruptions and stuff like that. So, but I'm gonna get interrupted. I have 6 children, 5 at home, and a babysit. So, yeah, lots of interruptions. But anyway, so this is my small one. And since I last showed you, I have added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 squares. So it is really starting to grow. And I have a lot of ends I need to weave in because I started slacking. I mean, I got all that woven in, but I still have a lot. But yeah, that's my small memory blanket. And that one is made out of only fingering weight that I have made socks, shawls, cowls, hats, whatever out of. So that is strictly made out of only things that I have actually knit, or leftovers from what I've actually knit. Now my next blanket is my biggest one, and I've been working on this for 5 years now, and it will get done this year. And this one is made from my scraps, friends' scraps, minis that have been sent to me, all that kind of stuff. And I've added quite a few squares onto this one too. So I have added 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 10 squares onto this one. So I have added quite a good chunk. Like I said, I've been trying to add a square a day to those. Might have to kind of back off on that so that I can get other things done. We'll see. Let me see. I think that is all I have. Yep, that's all I have for finished objects and works in progress. So now I'm going to talk about what's next. So what is next is I'm going to do an August sock for my Hippo 4 box of socks, an August sock for my regular box of socks, hopefully finish up my July socks for that box also. Then starting August the 1st, Alicia Plummer is having a campside knit along. And what that is she's got several campside patterns out. She has 2 shawls, a wrap, a sweater, maybe 2 sweaters, because one's got drop sleeves and one doesn't. So yeah, I think 2 sweaters, a cardigan, and a kid's cardigan. I'm not sure if the kid's cardigan is in this knit along or not. I'll have to go back and look. I'll have more details on my next podcast. But anyway, that starts August the 1st, and I am planning on entering in that. I did donate a bag as one of the prizes. She's got tons of prizes. So if you are interested in joining her campsite knit along, check out her Ravelry group. Plum Dandy, I think is what it's under. She's also on Instagram. I'll try to link all that below, or at least put where you can find it below. Or I'll put it in the show notes on my Ravelry group and my Facebook group. But I'm planning on doing the campsite shawl and possibly the campsite days, which is her newest shawl, and it is huge. And I'm really thinking I might start with that, but I'm not really sure because I've had yarn for the campsite shawl for quite a while. And I think I want to knit that. I know I'm late to the game on that one because lots of people have knit it. It's a gorgeous shawl. But I just haven't gotten around to it. And I even have yarn for the campsite gardy, and I still haven't cast that on. So yeah, I need to get cracking and work my way through my stash, right? So that is what is going to be up next on my needles. And then what I've bought. So I have done excellent this month as far as buying yarn and using my yarn. I am officially ahead in using right now. But what I've bought so far are just my two sock clubs that I'm in. So this is, sorry about the crinkling. I try to usually take these out of the bag before I start talking about them, and I'm sorry guys, I didn't today. But I won't put them back in the bag. How about that? So this is the Hippo for Little Celebrations. And this one is called Hippo for Little Celebrations Wine 30. So it's got a couple different shades in there. Here we go. There's some more on the back there. So yeah, I got that. And then, guys, she blew me away with last month's Downton Abbey. I love Downton Abbey. This was the second in the series that she's doing. And so far, this is my favorite. I'll probably get it I'll get it this week. Last time I podcast, I got this the day that I put my podcast up. So this one is her Downton Abbey Club, Upstairs, Downstairs. And this one is Lady Sybil's Dress. And I love it. And if you guys have watched the show, you'll know exactly what dress she's talking about. And this is like dead on. And it comes with a little mini, which I will be putting in my mini blanket once I'm done knitting it up. But yeah, isn't that gorgeous? I love blues, and this just did it. Absolutely gorgeous. That's it. That's all the yarn I've bought. Now, I did buy some more fabric, which I'm going to show you now. If I can not knock stuff down. But I didn't buy a lot of fabric. I got some more roosters and chickens. Thought that was cute. And then for summertime, which I am so late to the game because we're almost in August. S'mores, campfires. So cool. The little mug says stay wild. And life is good. Super cute. So I need to get those sewn. And that is it. That's all I bought. So I'm doing pretty good. Shop update is my last thing, and it will take a while because I have a lot to show you guys. So I'm going to start the shop update with the bags that I've made. I changed the way I made these bags, all except for one. I wasn't really happy with the interfacing that I had been putting inside of it. It was giving me some problems and stuff, so I swapped it. But this one has interfacing in it. A little foxy fox. I just love those glasses on that fox. And then I decided to switch over and start using quilting batting. So these are a little bit thicker. They're just they're squishy. You can still fold the tops down. I like to curl my bags down like this and leave my yarn in there and knit out of them. And that way, if I do it like this, the yarn doesn't get caught up on the zipper teeth. Yeah, that's the inside of this bag. Super adorable. And all of these, except for the last one that I'm going to show, are in my Etsy shop. Mickey and Minnie Halloween. I don't know why I'm on a Halloween kick here lately. Just a solid orange inside. But I figured I'm ahead of the game on Halloween, but I'm a little behind on summer fabrics, right? This one is the only one that's not in the shop yet. I've got to take some pictures and then I'll be putting it up in the shop. But I really like this one. So do my girls. My girls really love sunflowers too. And the inside of that is just a solid yellow. So yeah, they're a little bit thicker. They will, stand up. Each bag holds, I say that it can hold 100-gram skeins, but it actually holds 3. Which is what I put inside of them whenever I take the pictures of them. But yeah, it holds 3, but I just advertise it as holding 2. And sell it as a medium-sized bag. But it's a good-sized bag. I mean, I put my sock projects in mine that I've kept, and I'm pretty sure it could probably hold a shawl. So that is it for my bags. I have a lot of yarn to show you guys. I have been super duper busy. So I'm going to be doing a lot of turning here. I think I'll start with the solids first. Let's see here. I've got this one, this one's called Totally Teal. Got this gorgeous orange. I don't know if I have this one in the shop yet or not, to be honest. Some of these I've been hesitant to put in the shop just because some of them have like spots of white in it. And that really bugs me. I mean, it might not bug others, but it bugs me. This one is gorgeous. This one is called Honey Mustard. And it just has several different shades. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got several different shades of yellow in it, and it's so pretty. That one is really pretty too. I don't know how well these are going to show up, seeing how I've got a shawl on and I'm holding it in front of the shawl. This is my Peaches and Cream, which I really like that one too. It's got different shades of peach in it, a little bit of cream. It turned out really pretty. And then I've got, oh my goodness, I've got lots of them falling. This one is Ballerina Toes. I don't think I have this purple in there. I could be wrong. And that is all of my tonals or solids, semi-solids. And I have lots and lots of others. So I showed Don't Splash Mama last time. I'm going to show this now. This is Sunflower Fields. I really love this one. This one is Georgia Peach. It's got some reds, yellow, peach, green. I love that one too. So far, I don't have a single one that I've dyed that I don't like. This one is called Ghost, Goblins, and Ghouls. And it just has like all kinds of colors in it that remind me of Halloween. So we've got our ghost, we've got oranges and black and purple and this neon yellowy green. Gorgeous. I love it. This one's got a lot of neon in it. Like a neon orange that's in there. It's really pretty. I love it. Then I have this one, which a lot of people like this one. Mermaid's Tail. This just has all kinds of colors that you think of when you think of a mermaid's tail. Purples, pink. It has 6 different colors in it. Blues, green. Yeah. So, and I just made some more of Mermaid's Tail. This one turned out a little bit different than the original, but I did use all the same colors and layout and all that kind of stuff. It just goes to show that when something is hand dyed, it is a little bit different. I mean, they're not terribly different, This one I think is a little bit darker because I let it sit overnight. But I mean, they're not terribly different, other than just this batch being darker. And this one I think has a little bit more white in it. This one does have white in it, but I think this one has a little bit more. But yeah. And then I did a speckled Halloween color. I have not named this yet, and I have not put it up in the shop yet. But I just wanted the Halloween, but I wanted it to have more speckles in it. So this is a colorway that is not named yet. But yeah, it's got more speckling in it than just solid batches of color. Like, see if I can get that to focus. There we go. Lots of speckles. It does have some solids with speckles on it. But yeah. So I've got to photograph those, name them, get them up in the shop, all that good stuff. I've been having fun dyeing my yarns and making bags. I've kind of, like I said, my wrist has really been bothering me, just one of them, and it's not even the main one that I use all the time, so I'm not really sure why it's bothering me. But, excuse me, I'm hoping to get that healed up, feeling better. It does this a couple times a year. I don't know. So hopefully on the next podcast, I will have more bags to show you guys. I don't know if I'll have more yarn to show, but I should have more bags, and hopefully I'll have some new projects to show, because I'm sure you guys are probably getting tired of seeing memory blankets and socks and my covered shawl. That's what I seem to be showing a lot of. So hopefully I'll have some new projects on the needles to show you guys. I'm trying hard to go through bags that I have projects in and try to finish up those projects. I know that I showed Avery's blanket that I've been working on for a while. I have not knit on that since I showed it last on the podcast. I just have had other things that I've been trying to get done, and put deadlines on myself. So I think I need to ease up on my deadlines some and get back to enjoying knitting. I do enjoy it, but I just feel like it's work now. Like I'm just trying too hard to meet too many goals. So I am pulling it back a little bit and taking my time. And another reason why I kind of have been doing full steam ahead is because I feel like I need to show you guys more, which is why I waited 2 weeks to do a podcast. That and last week was incredibly insane in my house. So now I'm going to ramble on a little bit. Last week was a little insane. Avery got sick. She started off with like a headache and a runny nose, and then by that evening she was coughing and she had a fever. And I took her the next day to get, I called our pediatrician, and she sent us to, there's a COVID clinic at the University of Virginia, and she sent us there. So poor Avery, she was such a trooper. She got tested for COVID, which is an incredibly uncomfortable test. I felt horrible for her, but she got tested for COVID. Thank the good Lord it was negative. But she is still fighting this cold, and she feels better. She's playing. She's acting normal. The only thing that she's having trouble getting rid of is the cough. It hasn't been a week since she's had it, so we'll just continue on, and we're still monitoring her to make sure she doesn't have a fever and all that good stuff. She stopped running, like she had a fever, barely a fever, when we went to the clinic, and she hasn't had one since. So, knock on wood, thankfully, she's doing much better. 2 of my other children were sort of sick. One had scratchy throat, but that was another thing that Avery had, was a sore throat. And the other one, same thing, sore throat, just feeling kind of blah. So we've upped the vitamin C and the zinc, and taken allergy medicine, because mine is all allergies, unfortunately. They just love me. Anyway, so yeah, we've been a little bit busy. One of my 16-year-old, she made 2 rag quilts last week, which was really awesome, because the first one I just kind of walked her through and did a little bit of it, and then she just took off. Excuse me. Excuse me. She just took off and did the second quilt all by herself. I didn't help at all with it, other than just looking at it and going, oh yeah, that's a good layout. That's it. She did everything. So I'm super proud of her. One of my other daughters has gone back to knitting. She was knitting some last week. So we'll see. It's time to start our Christmas knitting. I know. Y'all are probably like, please hush. We don't even want to think about Christmas right now. Guys, it's July 26th. It's going to be here before we know it. So I'm going to get started on my Christmas knitting, which I'll show on my next podcast too. Hopefully I'll have some Christmas knitting on the needles. Let's hope. Anyway, I'm rambling on now, so I'm going to let you guys go. Hope you guys have a wonderful day and keep on crafting. Bye, guys.